Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to What Do I Know with your boy Zuzu. And today we are reviewing Busta Rhymes' new album, Extinction Level Event Part 2. So it's been 11 freaking years since this guy has put out the last one. It's finally here. Part 2, I think it's called The Wrath of God. Yeah, that's the little, distinction. So before I get into this album this morning, I decided I gotta listen to part one, right? I gotta get my juices flowing with Busta, right? I gotta get in my headspace with Busta, and man, just reminding myself of how good part one is, how many songs are on part one. It's a long album in itself, but one vivid memory I have with the first album is Swiss Beats, because he was like coming up at that moment, and he was just like taking over. Every album had to have like a new Swiss Beats song, and I remember "Tear the Roof Off," "Tear the Roof Off." It's one of my favorites. I used to skip every other song, go straight to that one, and then run the album back. Listening to the album, and it reminded me how many different bops Busta has. Like every single beat sounded different, but in a way that sounded the same, like in an era. Like it just sounded like that late '90s era. Part one is boom bap. Part two is the same fucking thing, but even better. Like, he might not have a number one single from this album, but this album is fucking boom bap, and I'm so happy he did that. Like, the way he set up the album was good. Anderson .Paak's song, you song is fucking fire. And yo, shout out to Anderson .Paak, by the way, because he's like on 8 albums this year. 8 or 9 albums, and he's sneaking in bangers, okay? And it sounds like he has them like halfway done, and he's like, yo, you want this track? Yo, you want this track? And he's been killing the game. Anderson .Paak always kills the game, but I like the way Busta sets it up. I like the way he starts his rollout. He puts out the Kendrick Lamar song, which is called Look Over Your Shoulder, MJ sample, Michael Jackson sample. Dope song. Yo, y'all were like thirsty for Kendrick, right? Like I looked on the timeline and y'all were going crazy for that record. Record's dope, but let's relax a little bit. We haven't heard Kendrick. I understand. They were like, Kendrick verse. Oh my God, everybody retweeting. Let's relax. Dope song, dope way to set it up. But in the grand scheme of the album, there's a reason why the Kendrick song is number 19 out of 22. But we'll put that aside. Take that for what you will. But listening to part two, I'm just the whole time like breaking my neck, right? Boom bap to the fullest. Like it took me right back to like Federal Star, Timberland boots, bubble coat, hoodie on. It gave me that cypher feel. You know when you're like, you're growing up, you're in your early teens, and you have that crew, and there's eight people in your crew, and there's always like 2 or 3 that trying to rap, right? And you guys get in a cipher, and everybody's head is bopping at the same exact beat, and then your boy goes, and you're hyping all his whack ass bars, and then your other boy goes, and he has maybe a little bit more skill, and everybody's going crazy for no apparent reason. But that feel is what this album did for me. Like I'm just the whole time like you know how he goes, break your neck, nigga? Like, that's exactly what Busta did to me on this album. Every single beat was a different bop. It was like grab your attention, Busta. I loved it. All these beats are head knockers. I got some favorites. Out of 22 tracks, there's a lot of tracks. But I got some favorites. Early in the album is Strap Your, what is it called? Early in the album, Strap Yourself Down. It's one of those that he plays with his voice. Busta's really good at that, but he gives you that hard, harsh voice, and then gives you that little soft voice that he can do, and he always flips back and forth with that. Real dope. Got a song called Boom. Just the name of the boom, boom. Like just me doing that, you know what type of album this is, right? He has a song called True Indeed with DJ Premier. You know that famous line that Busta says, something in the need, true indeed. You know that line, like you got DJ Premier scratching that up He has bangers throughout the whole album, and he gives you that feel. He has a song called Czar with M.O.P., and it's the M.O.P. that you would love. It's straight smack your face M.O.P. This album, I would say it's for the 30 plus will appreciate it, but I think 25 plus will appreciate this album a lot because it takes you right back there. It's just polished. If you took 11 years to make it, it should be polished, but it's a really, really, really good, fun album. Busta always gives you that fun element that, oh my God, what is he doing with this one? You know, and then the next one, oh shit, this is coming from left field. And he does a real good job. Rhapsody's on this album with a dope song towards the end. What's that one called? That one's called Best I Can, produced by Ninth Wonder. And then he has another one called Where I Belong with Mariah. Yo, that one should be on the radio. What I really got from this album is obviously 22 tracks. It sounds like 2 albums, right? The top half can be its own, the bottom half can be its own, but there's like bangers on the top half, right? There's like real bangers in the top half, like a good 6. And then, you know, it gets a little shaky. And then towards the end, you're like, whoa. Why did you put these songs up here? But you appreciate it. It's kind of like the experience I had with T.I. the Libra is where like, damn, look at all these songs, but you pick 4 from here and then 2 from here and then 3 from there, and it's like, oh, okay, this is a fucking good album. I really like what he did. I'm glad he didn't like stray too much. Like there's no auto-tune or anything like that. He didn't stray too much out of his comfort zone. He just gave us something classic. I heard him talk about Mystique in his interview with Drink Champs. And he's like, you know, he likes to keep that mystique. He doesn't like to put himself out there like that. You know, he likes to do it when he wants to. And I think that's what he was trying to approach with this album. He's always been good at like just enhancing the record. He's really, really good at that. He does more of that on here. I'm just glad he didn't stray away from what we love Busta for. He did a real good job with that. Obviously, not every album is perfect, and I always like to give something that I would improve on. I think they would have benefited from the verses, man. Like, get people back in tune with your music. I wish they would have set up a verses right before this album came out because it would have just got the ball rolling, right? It didn't happen, and it's not too late. You had 22 songs on this album. You could have saved 8 for a deluxe, right? So I guess it is too late. But you could have took 8 of those records, save it for a deluxe, throw a verses in between. So imagine he would have put a 14 track album, right, with the hottest ones on there. Save a few, like Rhapsody one you could save, and then do a versus whoever, and then drop the deluxe that same night. I think that would have been a genius idea to do. I think he was probably trying to set that up, but because T.I. said no, it kind of like maybe fucked it up a little bit. I did get confused early on in the rollout. I thought he dropped an album with Vybz Kartel called The Don and the Boss, and I guess it's just a record on the album. I had to shout out the production. He got Ninth Wonder, he got Knots, he got Rockwilder, he got Pete Rock, he got Q-Tip. There's just so many, and then like with the features that some I didn't even mention. Old Dirty Bastard on here. I did mention Bellwood DeVoe and Rhapsody. Q-Tip actually has a real dope verse on there. He did a great job just adding people to the record. So just with those features and those producers, you know what type of album this is gonna be. It's for boom bap. It's the Busta you love. So if you like Busta, go check this album right now. Extinction Level Event Part 2, The Wrath of God. Thank you, Busta Rhymes, for such a dope album, man. We're gonna keep bumping it, and it's real dope. But again, what do I know? But make sure you like, share, and subscribe on this video on my YouTube channel, and share with your friends. Let them know that I review albums and to come listen to me first before they go check it out.